For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone here, talking some men's basketball with head coach Joe Golding. His team now 1-0 in the Southland Conference after a hard-fought one-point victory over Central Arkansas on the road in Conway last Saturday. Coach, sometimes when a team has a lead and then the other team makes a run and you only win by a small amount, maybe the first reaction is, oh, wow, what happened? Big picture, Coach, you're 1-0 with a road win in the Southland Conference. That's got to be the lead, doesn't it?
Yeah, no question. We left there with 1-0, and so we're extremely fortunate to get out of there with a win. Anytime you can steal a road victory in our league is tough. We got a ton of respect for Central Arkansas, and I got a ton of respect for Russ. And we knew their kids would battle back. We kept telling our guys that. I think we got up 14 at that one point, and we just didn't close it out the way we needed to. But give them credit that they made some plays down the stretch and made it a tough game. But our kids never quit. We found ways to make some plays down the stretch, and it's a 40-minute game. I told our guys after the game, I thought we guarded really well the first half, and that might have been where we won the game. We were able to hold them to 26, 27 points, and against a team that can really, really score the ball. So, it's a 40-minute game. You play for 40 minutes, and we were able to come out there with a win.
I've heard you say, in fact, you told me right after the game on the radio broadcast that we haven't been in that position before. Young guys with a lead on the road. Why is that hard?
Grant, I don't know. I mean, we're not big excuse makers here. We deal with what we have, and you don't want to make excuses for your guys. But at the end of the day, we've got a new team. We got a bunch of new guys. We also have some guys that have been in the league a long time, haven't had a lot of success, but have been in the league. And so, the easy thing to look at, I guess, is you're up 14, you're playing well on both ends of the floor, kind of have the game in control, and then for whatever reason we play to lose almost and not to win. We got really passive. We turned down a bunch of shots. I don't think we were afraid, but we got out of rhythm. And then all of a sudden they get some momentum. Momentum is so key in college basketball, and you see games flip all the time. And we had all the momentum. I thought everything was going our way, and we were a couple shots away. We had a couple wide open looks.
Yeah. They had a fast break up 14.
Yeah, up 14. Yeah, to kind of maybe put them away, and then all of a sudden you breathe life into them, and they make a few energy plays and momentum plays, and you get passive on the other end, and then it just seems like nothing can go your way. And so you got to learn from those situations. You got to continue to play the game for a full 40 minutes, like you and I were just previously talking about. And I think our guys got up 14. I think they took a deep breath. And this is a tough league. And I almost said Lone Star. This is a tough. This is the Southland.
That was tough too.
Tough too, but every league's tough you're in. So it's a tough league. Everybody wants to win and give those guys credit, but we have to learn from that, and we have to be able to hang on.
Well, as you look at how that game wound down with a game that was hanging in the balance, you get a guy at the free throw line with, 21 seconds to go. You're up by one, and he shot 50% from the line last year. This year he's shooting in the upper 60s from the free throw line, Durant Porter. It allowed him to get his first career double-double. He buries both with the crowd going crazy, up by one, and all the momentum on the other side. And you wound up – those proved to be the winning points. When you think about the metamorphosis that Durant Porter has undergone, I said it to you, I don't think it's hyperbole. It's almost like you have a new player this year.
I'm really proud of him. I know we've talked about it a ton, but it needs to be talked about. I mean, give the kid credit. He's worked extremely hard. Worked a ton this spring. Got in the weight room, lost a bunch of weight, put on a bunch of muscle. Really worked on his conditioning this summer. I think this summer was great for him. And in the Costa Rica trip, he was able to build some confidence. And I think when you had new guys too added to the team, they don't remember him last year. It's kind of a new start for him. And he's Jay Little is his roommate, and I know Jay Little constantly is encouraging to him and building confidence in him. And he's just taking off. We kept seeing it all the time. And I remember you and I early in the year. I think after our first game, I don't think he played really well. I think he was guarding a 6'1" post. I forgot who we were playing, but he didn't play very well. And in a non-Division I game, and no one saw it. But you had seen it a little bit behind the scenes, and we kept waiting for it. And man, he all of a sudden he took off in non-conference, and he's had a lot of success. He's playing with a high level of confidence. He's demanding the basketball. He's shooting great from the line. He's got a ton of confidence, and he gives our team a lot of confidence. When you can throw the basketball in there, and you got a guy that can go get you 2 points or get fouled and get to the free throw line, and it makes you tougher to guard. And so I'm extremely happy for him. All the credit goes to him and his hard work behind the scenes, and I can't stress again how happy we are for him.
Well, you told me before the game Saturday that you and the coaches have challenged him to rebound better, and did he ever? He gets 10 rebounds, which wound up being a career high for him, and you needed every one of those, as it turns out. Coach, you're being led in scoring and rebounding by two different freshmen. Jalen Franklin, the freshman from Little Rock, who had kind of a home game on Saturday, and then Jaron Lewis from Orlando leading your team in rebounding. This is not a fluke. These two guys are – I don't know that there's a better freshman. I haven't seen the whole league. But I can't imagine there's a better freshman tandem than those two. Are they freshmen anymore in your minds? Are they still in some ways?
Well, no. Yes and no. Yeah, they're still freshmen. They're going to start their second semester in the spring here, and they probably still want to be home with mom and dad and enjoying Christmas. But no. And as far as games played, they played 14. They both have kind of played from the start, played from the beginning, and they've played well. I mean, I'm extremely impressed with both of them and what they've been able to do. They both play with a high level of confidence. They're both unselfish kids. They both have chips on their shoulders. They both work really hard. They're both good teammates. I think the leadership of the veterans for them early was huge, and I think they've played. I think they've played extremely well. I'm proud of them. They're humble kids. They don't walk or brag or go around talking about things. If you put them in a huddle or a team with it, you wouldn't be able to pull those two guys out. They're team first guys. They want to win, but they also want to do it the right way. And the future's bright, and not, I remember talking about this freshman class. We're extremely excited about it, and we've spent a lot of time on those two. But we also have Hayden Howe and Hayden Farquhar and BJ and Jelani, and
two red shirts.
And I remember meeting with all of them, and I said, I'm not a fortune teller, but I'm going to tell you right now, the point in time when you get it and when you start getting minutes and when the light bulb goes off is going to happen at different points in time for all six of you. One would take off earlier, one might take a little bit longer, one might take a year, one might take a semester, but we like you all. We think every one of you are going to be a really good player for us, and I think you're starting to see that right now. I think, Jay Frank and Jelani have taken off a little bit. Hayden House starting to play better. He's stuck behind Duran Porter, who's playing really, really good with a ton of confidence, and that's a senior, but Hayden Howe keeps working hard in practice. Hayden Farquhar is working hard in practice. And then Jelani and BJ are lifting 4 times a week, and they're doing a ton of individual stuff behind the scenes with Coach Bozeman. And so they're all going to have their time and place here at this university. We're all extremely excited about all of them. Those two have taken off a little bit earlier than the other ones, but we're extremely proud of all of them.
You've talked so much about your senior class. It's amazing to think about Austin Cook and Parker Wentz really not giving you some of the numbers we're used to seeing from them. They have a track record that says they're going to do it. And I don't know that you can win a whole bunch of games in this conference if they don't score more. Again, the track record says they will. But to be able to win on the road and not get a ton of points from guys are going to give it to you later, that's got to give this team, and you as a coach, a lot of confidence, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think it does, but I think we've also found different ways to win. We've always had to rely on those two guys to hit a bunch of threes,
right.
And so like what you're saying is we're playing basketball probably the way I was always taught by some really good coaches, the way it's supposed to be done, whether it's right or wrong, and everybody skins the cat differently. But we want to be able to get to the free throw line. We want to be able to score the ball inside. We want to be able to, draw fouls on the opposing team and get easy baskets. And when you live and die by the three, it's tough to win at this level. And we've had to do that with Parker and Cook a ton the past 2 years. And so now, now we're playing a little bit different, and we're still trying to figure out where to get them shots and what to do. And obviously, Cook is Jaron's really stepped up and taken a role right there. So we're trying to find some different angles to bring Cook in and play Cook. And so it's great, And the most important thing about those seniors is just their leadership, Grant. And they're both great kids. It's funny, man. When you become a senior, all those 4 kids want to do is win. They don't care. They don't care about everything else. Freshmen, you want to start. Sophomores, they want to score. But when you get to become a senior, you just want to win. And you want to do some things. And I know a lot of people talk about this freshman class, but I'm telling you, man, these seniors have a chance to be a very important senior class in our men's basketball program, and maybe the most important senior class in the last couple of decades. I mean, as far as what they've done from the spring to the summer and what they've been through and sticking with it, and I'm extremely proud of them. And it might not show so much on the stat sheet, but what they've done will be remembered, hopefully, I think, around around here a long, long time, for what they've done for these young kids and the leadership they've shown them and the building blocks that they've established that will leave hopefully a legacy moving forward for this men's basketball program.
Let's talk about Saturday. A quirk of the schedule. You open the season with the conference season with 5 road games in your first 7. You have 2 mega road trips to start off. The one good thing about this is you don't have a game this week, so you have some time to come back and as you say, focus on ourselves and get yourself right. But now you go play a Nicholls team that reminds me a little of Central Arkansas. They don't have a ton of wins, but they're top 30 in the nation in strength of schedule. They just played Memphis at Memphis on Tuesday night. J.P. Piper, 11 seasons down there in Thibodaux. He's got a pretty good track record, doesn't he?
I've got a ton of respect for Coach Piper, and obviously this is now our 3rd year going against him. I know listening to Coach Tanner, it's his scout, and listening to him behind the scenes. I know they had a lot of wars when he was at Stephen F. Austin with Coach Piper, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for what he's been able to do there with that men's basketball program. And you're right. I mean, you and I talked about this a little bit on the radio before the Central Arkansas game. You cannot look at wins and losses
non-conference.
Not in non-conference in our league. It's just there are too many teams going out and having to play money and guarantee games, and strength of schedules are different, and who gets home games in our league and who doesn't get home games. And so we know we're going to get a great shot from Coach Piper's going to have them ready. They're really tough defensively. They really guard you well. That's kind of been Coach Piper's DNA and what his teams really do, and they're tough and they play the game the right way. And then offensively, they run the old shuffle motion, and it's a tough offense to guard, especially when teams run it well, and his teams run it really, really well. And there's a lot of counters that they have to it, and so we got our hands tied. It's gonna be a tough game. We're gonna have to be at our best to be able to go down there and compete. Hopefully, keep it close and give ourselves a chance.
All right, the ACU men's team 1-0 in the Southland Conference, looking to open 2-0 for a second consecutive season. They'll take on Nicholls. 3:30 tip on Saturday down in Thibodaux. We'll have the radio broadcast for you here on the ACU Sports Network. For Joe Golding, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.